Yo, 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 shalom, shalom, family. Shalom. Hit that like for me, that like button for me. Hold on just a second. Hit that like button for me. Baba Kusha, please hit that like button.
I got little ones.
All right, shalom, shalom. Hold on just a second. Go ahead and open up. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Today's lesson is going to be over an Israelite relationship and Israelite relationships. No Israelite relationship is perfect, so we always got to be working on them because that's the first thing that was attacked, as we see in Genesis chapter 25, all right, verse 1 on down. I want to say Genesis 25, Salakia, Genesis 2.
Oh,
Dang, I was off. Genesis chapter 2, man. Genesis chapter 2 on down.
God.
But we're not going to go there because we're just going to hit these real quick areas. I got a video I want to show. Everybody knows when I do a video or when I do a lesson, I like to show videos. I like to read definitions. Of course, all brothers really do read the definition. I just like to show videos. Just try to keep people's attention as much as possible. Yeah, relationships, man. We need to work on those relationships consistently. Consistently working on relationships. All right. All right, let me go ahead and open it up. I'm just going to have this video playing in the background. It's going to be on mute just so that y'all can see what's going on, what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, can I see that? Let me use that mouse button. All right, we're going to get it together. We're getting it together. All right. Can I get Sirach chapter 3 and verse 23? Sirach chapter 3 and verse 23. I'm going to go ahead and read this scripture real quick. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. Now, you brothers and sisters, if y'all in a relationship, you might want to take these scriptures down. If you're not in a relationship, you should still take the precepts down for later, for future use, right? 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. All things must be done decently and in order. The Most High God doesn't do anything outside of order. He's always in order, right? Outside of order is chaos. You see chaos and confusion outside of order. So we always got to be in order, man. Always got to be in order. And one of the things that's hard for us to remain in order is this. We being in this kingdom has taught us a lot of confusion. It's taught us a lot of ups and downs. We're number one. It's taught us a lot of bad things that we got to unlearn and reteach ourselves and re-educate ourselves, right? As a matter of fact, let me get this precept real quick. Something that we always got to do, right? While you're holding, since you're holding, let me get 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5, Baba Kusha. Read that loud and clear for the people, Baba Kusha. What did I say? You remember?
13 and 5.
Which one, first or second?
2 Corinthians.
Okay, I'm just checking. I was just making sure you're on game. You're on point.
The 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5.
Come on.
Examine yourselves,
Uh-huh.
whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Hamashiach Yahushua is in you, except ye be reprobates?
Right. So we always got to examine ourselves in this walk. When I, a real quick story, I'm 43 years old. Some people see it old. Some people don't see it as old. 43 years old. I've been a father for 20, almost 25 years, I guess, 23, 24 years. One of the things I noticed later on that I like to tell young brothers when they become fathers is that their child is always watching them. Always watching them. I was a firefighter at one point in time, and one of the things I didn't expect my son to say to me was, I want to be a firefighter because you were a firefighter. I did not expect that. I did not see that coming, right? But as simple as that was, as small as it was, people are always watching you. Being in this truth, you calling yourself an Israelite, they're examining you. They're seeing you. They're watching your walk, right? If a man is being a man, is he being respectful to his wife? How is he treating her? How is he treating his parents? How is he treating his children? Is he disrespectful? Is it ugly? Man, I don't want to be in the truth if he's like that. If she's like that, if she's argumentative, she gives her husband hell. I don't want to be in that relationship. I don't want to be in a religion or a heritage like that. That's not something that I'm interested in. If that's what they're doing, I'm cool. I'm cool by myself. We are an example to our people. They are always watching us, right? So we always got to examine ourselves, whether we be in the faith, because the Most High will give you over to your sins, right? If you are not careful, he will give you over to it. Is that how we're doing?
I was just making sure
I
that
appreciate
the audio wasn't going.
in the chat. Right. Appreciate that. Do your thing, bro. You do your thing. All right. Let me go ahead and so we must examine ourselves in this walk. Let's get Sirach chapter 3 and verse 23. Because we see here in the video says, avoid these 5 relationship killers. Right? Avoid these 5 relationship killers. And the first one is, what is it? Let me see. Hold on. The very first one is, let me see. Looking through his phone, right? She's trust issues. Trust issues, right? All right, let's get that.
This is Sirach 3 and 23.
Uh-huh.
Be not curious in unnecessary matters.
It says what?
Be not curious in unnecessary matters.
It is unnecessary for you to be curious in this matter. That is not your phone. Why are you are exhausting yourself trying to find out what who he's texting, who he's talking to. You ain't getting enough sleep. You're worrying yourself. You got all things on your mind. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I'm just worried. Who is he talking to? Is he talking to another female? Is he talking about me? You are exhausting yourself. It says what? Read that again.
Verse 24.
3.
Verse 23. Be not curious in unnecessary matters.
It says don't be curious in unnecessary matters. This is not about you. This is your husband's or your Lord's phone. Trust issues, right? Be not curious in unnecessary matters. Come on.
It says, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand.
So more things have been showed unto you than men understand. A lot of men, average people, don't understand who they are. They don't understand their purpose in life. The purpose of an Israelite man and the purpose of an Israelite woman. You got a whole job to be worried about instead of his phone. His phone is not your job. That is not your job, right? So you got to make sure that you are on top of. It says, "For many things are shown unto you, unto thee, than men understand." Salakia, is that because I want to I want to see comments too. Are those comments? You know what I'm saying? Because I can't see. So
It just says
this is back in 33 seconds, right? That's what I'm talking about. All right. So it says, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. You have a lot more to be worried about than just your husband's phone, right? Verse 24.
For many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
Many are deceived by their own vain opinion. He could be speaking the good things about you, right? And like I said, you got more to be worried about than just what he's talking, who he's talking to on his phone. It says, many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Come on.
And an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment.
So evil suspicion have over. You might have there was an article where a lady, she stabbed her husband. I can't remember how 30 times, I think, because he was looking at. She said she saw what he was looking at on his phone. A lady in a bikini, I think it was, or something like that. She stabbed him 30 times, and then she found out it was her when she was younger. She stabbed him 30 times. Come to find out, he was looking at an old picture of her when she was younger. It says, an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. That's what would happen, man. You are making assumptions off of you going way off. You in sin now. Man, is something going on with yours? Okay, here goes mine. Mine's tripping. All right. Slacky. It said, an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. That's something we can't do, family. We cannot do that. Let me get the book of Luke, chapter 8 and verse 17. The book of Luke, chapter 8 and verse 17. We all got something we got to work on. So this is another reason why we always got to have these relationship classes, man. We gotta always be counseling one another in these areas because, like I said earlier, what's going on? Hold on, Salakia. Oh, what's up here? Hopefully my thing is still going. Is it still online?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is paused right here. I don't know what's going on with this. All right.
I can grab the loop.
That's okay. I'll just leave it like this. I think this might be the problem. Okay. But let's get Luke chapter 8 and verse 17. The book of Luke chapter 8.
It's Luke chapter 8, verse 17. It's Luke chapter 8, verse 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid.
Luke chapter 8, verse 17.
Yes, sir.
Can you read that for me one more time?
It says, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad.
So anything that is done in secret, if it's bad, it's going to resurface. It's going to come out. So that ain't something you got to worry about. You don't have to worry about. I might have to exit this page. This thing's tripping. You don't have to worry about what's on his phone. If it's negative, if it's sinful, if it's off, if he's going off, it's going to be revealed. All the things must come to light, right? Anything in secret must come out. It's going to surface up. So you got to start trusting in the Most High. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you got to trust in the Most High. Well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna do this. I might come back to it later if I can. I don't know what's going on. That's cool. All right. So you don't have to worry about looking through his phone. You don't have to worry about who he's talking to. Those things you don't have to worry about because what's done in dark will come to light. Scriptures say that too. What's done in dark will come to light, man. So that's things you don't have to worry about. The Most High God is going to take care of you. If you are blameless, and you ain't, you doing what's right, you doing what's right, and you doing what's well pleasing to the Most High, He's going to take care of you. He's going to move that man out the way, or He's going to correct him. It's as simple as that. The Most High is going to take care of you, right? The second one was the blame game, right? The blame game. Let's get the book of Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 9. And also I want to get that in in that Bible Hub, Bible Kusha. It's just the first two. I want KJV and that first two.
All right, come. This is Isaiah 58 verse 9.
No, read KJV first.
In the KJV, it says, "Then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and He shall say, Here am I, here I am. Slakia, here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, and put forth of the finger in speaking vanity."
God. So one of the things we can't be doing is pointing the finger. We can't be blaming one another. Like I said earlier, you got to examine yourself. The Bible talked about examining yourself, making sure you're blameless, right? Making sure you don't have no blame on you, like it talked about in 2 Corinthians, right? You got to examine yourself. You can't be pointing the finger at somebody and expecting them that they're wrong. It's all them, but you got, what the scripture say? You got a plank in your eye, right? A beam in your eye, Con. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get that.
NLT or NLT?
Yeah, go ahead and get that, and I'm going to get that scripture next.
This is Isaiah 58 verse 9 in the NLT. Then, in the NLT, it says, "Then when you call, the Lord will answer. Yes, I am here. He will quickly reply. Remove the heavy yoke of oppression." Stop.
So remove the heavy yoke of oppression, like a burden on yourself, because you can put burden on yourself, right? You can put that depression spirit on you. That's something that you can do. You can cause that to come upon you. It says, take the heavy yoke off of you. Go ahead.
Stop pointing. It says, stop pointing your finger.
Stop pointing your finger
and spreading vicious rumors.
And stop pointing the finger and spreading vicious rumors, right? Blaming somebody else, and you didn't even examine properly. Let's first look at what you did. Like, make sure that you're clean. Make sure that you don't have no flaws, and then you can start correcting somebody else, right? Read that in the other version, Baba Kusha.
NIV. Then this is in Isaiah 58 verse 9 in NIV. "Then you will call, and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help, and He will say."
Wait. Slakia, read that one more time and read it slower for me, Baba Kusha.
It says, this is Isaiah 58 verse 9 in the NIV. "Then you will call, and the Lord will answer.
Mm-hmm.
You will cry for help, and He will say, Here am I. If you do away with the yoke of oppression."
If you do away with the yoke of oppression.
With the pointing finger.
And
malicious talk.
Is that it? So, all right. So the Most High God will hear you if you're not doing that. Matthew 7 and 3 through 5, Baba Kusha. Matthew 7, 3 through 5.
Matthew 7, 3 through 5.
Come on.
This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 3 through 5. It says, "And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thy own eye?"
So why are you worried about what's in your brother's eye when you yourself have something that you need to work on? Why are you doing that? Right? Why is that? Why are you worried about what's on his plate instead of looking at the plate that's right in front of you? You got issues, you got things that you need to take care of. Right? You hear the phrase, "I got a lot on my plate." Well, you might have a lot on your plate, and the other person next to you might almost be finished, right? He still got a little bit here on the side, though. Well, what about your plate? You got to worry about that, right? Read that for me again.
This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 3. "And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye,
Okay,
but considereth not the beam that is in thy own eye?
come on.
Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, Let me pull out the mote of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thy own eye.
Go on.
Thou hypocrite, first canst thou, verse 5, thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam of thy own eye,
Uh-huh.
and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote that is in thy brother's eye.
Right. Then you're going to see clearly. Hell, you might be able to help him, right? At the end of the day. But you know what? You just can't sit there and point the finger and worry about what's on somebody else's plate or what they're doing. And you got things you got to work on. You have a lot to work on, man. We as a people, as an individual, have a lot to work on, right? There's a lot of things we got to work on. So work out those things and then try to help your brother fix their problems, your sister, your husband, your wife, fix their issues, right? Stop playing the blame game. I'm going to try to get this back up, man. But let's get Book of Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Book of Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. I'm going to see if I can get this back up. Because these are things that we've all experienced. If you've been in a relationship, we've all experienced it. All of us.
I found a scripture to this period.
John, go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 26. And every one that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. So, everybody wants a good. You can't build just as we build our foundation, our faith, our belief on a solid ground. We stand on the law. We have a solid foundation so that we're not thrown to and fro. That's the same thing with the marriage. You can't have your marriage on sand. You can't build the principles, the actual glue of the relationship on something that can wither away. So if you got your relationship held together by God, then how can it fall down?
Beautiful. Beautiful point. That's a beautiful point. That's exactly right. If you got your relationship, if Most High God, if you're fearing the Most High, and that's your foundation, you can't go wrong. You're not going to go wrong because He gave us blueprint. He gave us rules and regulations, wisdom, understanding for us to follow. We have it right there in our hands. All we got to do is do it. We got to act on it. Let me get that Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5 up for sure.
This is Proverbs 3, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding.
Go ahead.
In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths.
So we're not going to go ahead and speed past that, because if you just meditated on those two scriptures right there for like a week, you're going to go far. You're not going to worry what He is doing. You're not going to worry on what now. And another reason why I did this this lesson is because relationships is, I have a connection, like a pull to it. I'm a little bit passionate about the relationships, so it's something that I like to talk about because every brother has something that they're really passionate about, and I don't want to just teach on something that I'm not. So I'm really passionate about relationships, so I like it, and I want to help fix keep my issues, my relationships on point, and help other brothers and sisters out, right? So Lord willing, I'm able to edify somebody. But the point is, if you can meditate on these two scriptures, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, that right there, you're going to learn how to cast your cares on Him, just like the scriptures tell us. You're not going to worry about what somebody else is doing, because you're going to be like, well, the scriptures say all things is going to come to light. Everything that they do in dark is going to be revealed. So I ain't got to do nothing but trust on the Most High God. That's going to be your attitude. You're going to start thinking like that. I don't have nothing to worry about because He's going to take care of me. Hell, you got lungs in your breath, don't you? Lungs. You got air in your lungs, don't you?
Right.
You got air in your lungs, don't you? What do you have to worry about? You don't have nothing to worry about, right? He's taking care of you. He's working with you. You still here, still breathing. You got food in your belly. You got clothes on your back. You got a roof over your head. You being taken care of, man. Right? You don't have nothing to worry about. But it said, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not unto your own understanding, because you're going to go off if you do that. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Read verse 7 for me.
Verse 7, be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord. Like you.
Be not wise in thy own eyes. That is very important. Don't take counsel amongst yourselves. Ain't that what the scriptures say too? Don't take your own counsel, because you're gonna go off. Your emotions gonna get involved. You can't think clearly. You're judging wrong. You're doing all kinds of tripping. So it say, be not wise in thy own eyes. Go ahead.
Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil.
Fear the Lord and depart from evil. Stop worrying. Anything that is not of faith is sin, like it talks about in the book of Romans. Anything that is not of faith, that is not of confidence, is sin, man. You got to have confidence that you're going to be taken care of. And if he's taking care of you, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about, right? Let's get, because the next one is, it says trust issues, and then it say what? Blame game. And I think the next one is money issues. So let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 22. Money issues, because the scriptures talk about that too.
This Sirach, chapter 25, verse 22.
And Salaki, before you read that, because men, we have a lot to work on. And this is not just on women. This is about the men too, because I met a lot of men that aren't right. They not right in a lot. And their wives be solid, right? You can't even find fault in the wife. This the men that be all messed up. So the men, we got to make sure that we are in order and we are doing what we're supposed to do. I just heard a relationship. She was a relationship coach or a therapist, and she said she'd rather deal with men than she would women, because men are very simple and easy to deal with. She said women give her a headache because it's how they feel, and it's never good enough, and it's just a lot. Men, you give them a task, they'll fix the task A, B, and C, and then it'll either work or it don't work, right? And women have a hard time getting through A, right? That's something that we all have to work on these things. I wasn't pulling it out just to try to blame women. I'm pulling it out to show that men, yes, even though some men can be simple and easy to deal with, we still have those men that are very complicated to deal with, that are very hard-headed and very stubborn to deal with, right? They're still stuck in their ways, and they won't come back to the Most High God and deal with wisdom and understanding with their wives, right? But let's get that Sirach chapter 25 and verse 22.
It's Sirach chapter 25, verse 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, come on, is full of anger.
Is full of anger,
impudence, and much reproach.
Right. So if a woman is taking care of her husband, if she's financially taking care of her husband ain't doing nothing, you're gonna find a woman that is full of anger, right? She got a lot to say. She's got issues with her husband. He's not fulfilling his husbandly duties. He's not doing what he's supposed to do, right? If a man don't work, he don't eat, right? You got to work. You got to protect. That's another way of protecting your wife and taking care of her, right? So read that for me one more time.
This is Sirach 25, 22. A man, a woman. This is Sirach 25 and 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. A wicked woman abated the courage, making a heavy countenance and a wounded heart.
That's all I want. Okay. Let me get because the last thing we see is respect, and this is what we see throughout the scriptures. We see a lot of these certain topics. We see a lot of respect. We see a lot of trust in the scriptures. We see putting your trust in the Most High. We see a lot of these things throughout the scriptures. We got to learn how to apply them to relationships as well. We've got to learn how to apply them to relationships. Let me get 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. We got to apply these to relationships as well, right? The last thing on this video is talking about respect. Respect. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 33. Go ahead.
This 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Evil communication, disrespect, being disrespect. You've always got to maintain respect, men and women. Men, if your wife can't maintain respect, you maintain respect. We're going to go over it because it's going to talk about it. The Bible does talk about rendering evil for evil, right? We cannot lose our cool. We still got to have that respect, right? As much as we can. And that is hard to do. That is hard to do, right? And that's something that I'm working on. And Lord willing, I'm a master it. But we always got to work on these things. Always got to work on these issues. So read that for me one more time.
This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Evil communications corrupt good manners, man. So that's being disrespectful. Evil, be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. You're going to get all kind of furious and frustrated, and then you're going to start acting like you straight out the hood. You ain't going to be no different than the people that's in the ghetto right now, right? The people that's in the world today. Right? You're not going to be no different. You can't even tell you apart from them. You might as well be in the hood like that. You might as well be back in the world if you acting like that. You got to change. You got to change. You always got to be examining yourself. It says evil communication corrupts good manners, and it does. You're going to have all kinds of disrespect towards your Lord or towards your wife. So you got to always maintain a level of respect, a level of integrity, right? So let's get the book of Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 33. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 33. And we know Ephesians is very powerful when it comes to husband and wife, right? But I want to get 33 before I move on, because I'm going to go back to Ephesians 5, because Ephesians 5 is powerful when it comes to relationships. But let's just get that real quick, because it deals with the level of respect. Ephesians 5 and 33. Need more light in here, huh?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that. Get 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and start at verse 1. All right. So I'm gonna get Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 33. It says, Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 33 reads, "Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife, even as himself." You're supposed to love your wife even as yourself. So when I go through problems in my relationship, I try to make sure I take a mental note so that I can help someone else out, right? So, we going through it. Me and my rib, we going through it, and I noticed something. If she's in pain, she was sick, and I'm tripping, right? She's sick, and I'm in fault, and I'm like, okay, if my stomach is hurt, I'm not going to beat up on my stomach. I'm going to take care of my stomach, right? That's what I'm supposed to do, because we're supposed to be one flesh. We're one, right? She's my body, right? I'm her head. Okay, we're one, right? So if she's, let's say my arm or my neck or my chest is in pain, I'm not finna try to rebuke it. Hey man, you need to get right. Arm, that don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and punch on my, or start cussing my stomach out or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm a baby it until it starts to feel better, so it can get back on track. It says, nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself. Bro, you're supposed to love your wife even as yourself, man. If she's in pain or she needs a little attention, give her that attention, man. She needs some help. Make sure. But as long as that wife, sister, as long as you're not trying to manipulate that man to do something that it ain't right. I ain't saying it ain't right. Because women, we know women, they deal with emotions, and a lot of times it comes off manipulative. It does. And sisters, you gotta watch that. You really have to watch it, right? So, hey, there's men out there that are very manipulative too. But we all got to make sure that we're on our P's and Q's when it comes to these relationships. We're making sure we're not trying to manipulate each other to get what we want, right? And then it reads, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. She respects. Reverence means respect. You are supposed to respect your husband. You can't be acting childish. You got to always maintain the level of respect and addressing him as husband or Lord. We're going to go over that too. You got to maintain that level of respect. Always. I bet you if the president come, you ain't, what's the president?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. You ain't going to call him Joe. Some people might. I ain't going to lie. You know, you got some crazy people. Yes. But for the most part, if they're working or if they go to the White House, you're going to call him Mr. President. That's a title that he earned. And as a matter of fact, if somebody goes through doctoring, a doctorate school, you have to say that name, Dr. Smith or Dr. Johnson or Dr. Zion, right? You have to address him or her in that manner. That's a respect. That's a title of respect. Your husband has more respect than that doctor because you're supposed to look at him as Lord, as Christ. We always got to maintain respect. Hey, there's a TV show out. You can get it. Yeah, go ahead and get it. I know I'm probably doing a lot of. I want to get back to the scriptures. We'll get back to the scriptures. There's a TV show that I just saw, and it really opened my eyes because the TV show is called Bear, right? And he's a chef. He's like the famous chef, and he's got to go back to his. I don't know. I just saw one episode, but they're like, "Why do you call me chef? Why do you call me chef?" And he's like, "Because it's a title of respect, right? And he's going to give respect. And guess what he's going to receive? Respect. If you give it, you're going to receive it. If you sow a seed in respect, guess what you're going to reap? That same seed of respect. So deal with each other in respect. It says reverence your husband. Even if you don't like what he's saying and you still address him as Lord in a positive manner, you're going to be blessed from your husband. He's going to be like, man, I can't really say too much because she always addressed me in a manner of respect. That's beautiful, man. We got to have that. Go ahead and get it whenever you got it. You got it? All right, don't worry about it. Let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
Come on.
Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Paul said to keep the ordinances as he delivered them to us. Go ahead. We're just going to run them down.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach Yahushua.
So he's giving us the order according to the ordained order. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Come on.
And the head of Christ is God.
Uh-huh.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
Right.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head.
Mm-hmm.
For that is even all one as if she were shaven. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn.
Mm-hmm.
But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God, but woman is the glory of a man.
So does he get that respect? If he is the image and the glory of God, does he at least get that respect? men or women? Does he get that respect that he is the image and glory of God? And you men, do the wives get the respect of being an image and glory of you? But the woman is the glory of the man. Bro, that's your glory, man. People are they're gonna judge you based off of how you treat her, how she is, how she looks, how she's presented. If that's your glory, and she looks like trash, bro, your reputation is gonna precede you. You're gonna have a different reputation. You know what I'm saying? Your reputation is not gonna be a good one. We got to make sure that we're taking care of one another. Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man.
Go ahead.
Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man.
Simple, easy to understand. Jump to verse 17.
It's 1 Corinthians 11:17. Now in this that I declare unto you, I praise you not, that ye come together not for the better, but for the worse.
We always, when it's hard, we've got to come together. We got to make sure that we're on point. It's easy to come together when things are doing good. The husband's in order. He got money. Hey, babe is taking care of me. Make sure I got money in my pocket. I got my nails done. I got my part. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to respect one another when things are going good, but to respect one another when things are going bad. To praise the Most High, to trust in the Most High when you're at your lowest. That's when character comes through. What it says, the saying goes, talent gets you in the door, but your attitude or your character, what does it say? Your attitude, you don't know what it's saying. No, you don't know what it's saying, bro. It's like the attitude will keep you there. That's what it is. Your attitude or your character will keep you there, right? So your talent gets you through the door. It got you in the door. But what's going to keep you there? Your attitude and your character. Thank you, Zion.
What?
It's my brother right there. You know what I'm saying? Don't even know what you did. Hey, you keep it up.
Right.
But so we got to make sure that we're always on point, even in our lowest, man. They say that ye come together not for the better, but for the worst. We got to make sure that we are respecting one another even more so when we don't feel like it. And that's just like working out. When you don't feel like working out, that's the best time you should go work out, right? All the professionals will tell you that. When you don't want to go, that's probably the best time to go, right? And they give you a good reason why, too. I can't remember it. You know what I'm saying? But you should. Let's get the book of John, chapter 13, and verse 34 through 35. I'm gonna jump from there. After that, I got quite a bit of scriptures. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was gonna go a little bit faster than that. So we're gonna jump a few scriptures here.
John what?
John 13, 34, 35.
This is John chapter 34.
13.
13, so I get 13:34. It says, a new commandment I give unto you,
Okay.
that ye love one another, as I have loved you, and ye should love one another, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have loved one to another.
Right. So we always got to keep these commandments, and we always got to have a level of respect and compassion for one another, man. We always got to. We always got to love one another. Let's go to Sirach chapter 25 and verse 1. Sirach chapter 25 and verse 1, because one of the main things in a relationship, I think this is the last one on the video. I missed out. This is the last one on the video. It talks about I think it was communication. Poor communication. That's not the last one, but that's second to the last one. Poor communication. Right? Let's get Sirach chapter 25 and verse 1.
Sirach 25 verse 1. In three things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful both before God and men.
Okay.
the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and wife that agree together.
A man and a wife that agree together. Hey, this is Amos chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Right? So communication. You gotta, the agreements, okay, yes. And the agreements that we have to be upon is the law, statutes, and commandments, and the way the Most High God ordained things. That's the agreement. That's the agreement that we got to agree on. It can't be no other way. We ain't making it no other way, right? So it says the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together. So we got to make sure that we are on agreement with one another when it comes to the scriptures, right? Jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8. Well is him that dwelleth with a wife of understanding.
It's well with him that dwells with a wife of understanding. She understands her position, right? She understands the authority that she does have in the relationship, right? That she is happily under her husband, under her Lord, right? She understands what's expected of her and her purpose. She understands that. Go ahead. Verse 8.
And had not slipped with his tongue, and that had not served a man more unworthy than himself.
Right. So you're not going to serve a man unworthy than himself, long as you stay in these commandments and your husband stays in these commandments. That's not going to happen, right? Lord willing. Let's go to John chapter. Hold on. So we got to have a good communication with one another, man. We can't be. A communication means to agree, right? And we all have that understanding. We don't want to be dealing with each other like we're children. Let's get the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 12. I'm about to wind it up.
The Sirach 25 and 12. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love. If you fear in the Most High and you trust, that is the beginning stages of his love. Go ahead.
And faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him.
And faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him. That confidence that you have in him is the beginning of cleaving unto him. That is the foundation. That should be the foundation of every relationship. It's not supposed to be your husband. That's not supposed to be the foundation. The foundation is not supposed to be your husband trusting in him, even though you should, but the foundation should be fearing the Most High God. That should be the foundation, fearing the Most High God, man, because he's not going to steer you wrong. He's not going to lead you astray. You've got to fear the Most High God. That is the beginning of his love, right? Let's go ahead and end it with Colossians chapter 3. And we're going to start from 17, and we're going to read all the way down. Colossians chapter 3, we're going to end it with this. I don't know how long we've been on. Feels like a minute. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17.
This Colossians chapter 3, verse 1.
17, sir.
17. Colossians 1:17. And whatsoever ye do in the word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahushua.
Okay.
Giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father. Giving thanks to God and the Father by him.
Go ahead.
Wives, submit yourself unto your own husbands.
This is the order. Go ahead.
As it is fit in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. Children.
So hold on. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit unto the Lord. This is how he sees it, right? You're gonna be found blameless if you are submitting yourself unto your husband, right? In the eyes of the Lord, right? Submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit unto the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. That's something that we got to work on, man. Let it go. If she's repented, if she asked for forgiveness, if she's changed her ways, you got to let that go. You can't even bring it up no more. Okay? Don't be bitter against your wife. Go ahead.
Verse 20, children, obey your parents.
So, like you jump down 22.
Verse 22. It says, servants, obey in all things your master according to the flesh, not with eye service.
Right. You don't do it just because other people's watching. Don't do it just because you got a crowd looking at you. You do it also behind doors when it's most important. That's where virtue comes in. That's where that character building comes in. You're being a fake. You're being like a two-face if you're doing it in front of people and not behind closed doors. You call your husband Lord in public. You respect him in public, but not in at home. That's fake. That's eye service. Go ahead.
As men pleasers.
Uh-huh.
But in singleness of heart.
That's men pleasers. Go ahead.
But in singleness of heart.
Uh-huh.
Fearing Yahweh.
Fearing the Lord. Go ahead.
And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily.
Do it with joy. That's something we gotta always remind ourselves that, right? When you keep these commandments, when you're commanded to do certain things that the Most High God told you to do, you need to do it with joy. Go ahead.
As to the Lord, and not unto men. It says, verse 24?
25.
Verse 25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done.
Right, so you ain't got to worry about if somebody's doing something wrong. You ain't got to be snooping behind their backs, trying to find out every little thing. That's exhausting. Trust in the Lord. He's going to take care of all of that. Because it says, but he that doeth wrong, go ahead.
But he that doeth wrong shall receive the wrong which he hath done.
Go ahead.
And there is no respect of persons.
There's no respect of persons, man. Hey, man, y'all, Lord willing, y'all learn something from this. Y'all be careful out there. There's all kinds of crazy stuff out there, man. They'll be touching on people that is not in the truth. That's the best advice I can give you in these days, man. Right? If they don't have no type of discipline, man, if they ain't in the truth, keep your hands to yourself, right? Because there's some crazy stuff going on out there. But Lord willing, y'all glean something from that, and we're going to end it with that, right? So, all right, so so with that, we're going to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, and the water for you brothers and sisters out there pushing this truth, man. We pray for y'all consistently. And we thank y'all, man. We thank the Most High God for y'all, brothers and sisters, that are pushing this truth, right? And we're going to give double honors to the elders that are pushing this truth, that are teaching us, that have taught us this truth. Double honors and double mercy and double grace to those men and women, right? So with that, I'm going to say Shalom wa barak mashmakah. Peace and blessings, family. Shalom. Oh.